Alright guys, about to get this young Doc Watch started. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks Meme Aficionado for the sub. Hope you guys enjoy this Doc Watch. It should be fun. I've obviously seen it before. Gonna be responding to chat some because this was a sub goal. I don't really plan on doing a lot of crazy reactions, but I will pause sometimes to give my thoughts on various things. I haven't really planned out any of this, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Here we go.
Brothers Melee.
How you doing? Pretty good yourself? Yep. Good.
He considers himself to be pretty good, having played the game for several years.
I love what he narrates.
Is he's about to play Korean DJ, one of the greatest Melee players of all time.
Yeah, I'll try not to spoil.
Oh. Whoops.
Each player has 4 lives or stocks, and must take all of his opponent's stocks to win.
This man really out here charging B like 4 times.
On purpose.
You gotta keep it trickier than that.
Oh, Fox is so awesome. Oh. So excited I'm playing this game again.
Now, he will try.
Hit him with the up smash. That's how you know he's serious. Hitting the man full out fair and across the stage. KDJ's a bully. Yeah, KDJ, not really a Marth main, but he's played Marth in a lot of serious sets. That's a slice. Nice grab, Marth broken. Why are they being the Mute King? Wow. He almost had it, dude. Had the 85%.
To Korean DJ, who is one of the greatest Smash Brothers players of all time.
The guy actually didn't know, I think, Samlock said, which is pretty funny.
KDJ then invited the cameraman to fight.
Close match.
And then the producer.
And then the producer. Little Samox.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Samox cameo Pog. Looking good there, guy. Years of documentary have taken its toll, though.
To be so fast and
now he's
so
documentary
precise
man.
That even 3 opponents would be no match. This is about a game that was never designed to be played at a competitive level. And the people who discovered just how far the game could go.
Well, I've never heard your name before, so go suck a dick. Lots of people behind me just screaming.
He goes there ready to die. Best feeling ever.
But mostly, this is about the 7 greatest players who, in their time, ruled the world.
And shoot at
You
it.
mean to wrap up Smash, like, as a whole?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
John Salty Snacks presents A Brief History of Smash. It was the turn of the century and everyone was bored. Bored, that is, until Masahiro Sakurai invented a brilliant new way to legally beat your
Hello,
children.
Potato Man.
Super Smash Bros. Melee for
Melee.
Nintendo GameCube. Since then, everything has been just hunky-dory.
Well, mostly.
When Smash Bros. Melee was released, it was intended to be a party game. Something your family could play together. Something designed for the casual gamer.
That's gonna be
The
me.
game was stocked with Nintendo characters.
Old man on the
most people
couch,
recognize.
getting him.
Donkey Kong, Mario,
Grand Peep.
Bowser, and some few would recognize Captain Falcon, Sheik,
Okay, I think people would recognize Sheik.
Marth, Fox.
How you gonna do Music King missing like
itself was unique
a grab
in a
there in
world
the...
of 2D fighters.
I liked that it was easy to pick up.
Not the whole thing today,
Street Fighter,
Legion.
you had to know shit combos. This game, you could just play and have fun.
There's just a fluidity to it that normal 2D fighters don't have. Not to say 2D fighters are bad or anything.
Tell him, Milk Tea.
Disclaimer.
You know, other games, you got the charge moves, quarter circles.
Smash, you make up your own combos. Is it's all about the physics. It's almost like a sandbox.
Combos don't work
fighting
anymore.
game.
SDI broken.
Of course, because I had fun, I then started taking it seriously. And it's like, shit, there are combos in this too. And it's actually a lot broader, I guess, than most fighting games, because it isn't just memorizing inputs. You have to think a lot more, judge where people are going.
Everybody's like, it's going up. It's supposed to go the other way, and then they die. Yeah, it's confusing.
Oh, yeah, the percentage. It's not at all like any other fighting game.
When you get hit, or when things hit you, or like when you fall or whatever, your percentage goes up. And that means that the next time someone hits you, you'll go a little bit farther. And then when you go far enough that you leave the box that is the stage, because every stage is really a box, then you die.
There's a lot of strategy in just
Not a
making
symmetrical
sure people
box,
don't
though,
come back onto
but
the
it is a
stage
box.
once you knock them off. You can kill people at 0%.
This is
or like
lore,
1%
though.
if you just play it really smart and trick them into doing something. Whereas other fighting games, you can't really have that small tactical advantage. Like, you have to kind of chip away at them constantly.
Out of 649 GameCube games, Melee was by a wide margin the most popular. But despite the
Bring me back to
insistence
life,
that
baby.
it should be a casual experience, a few players saw it as much more than that.
Yeah, me.
And they took it to another level.
My one of
I
two
first picked up
cameos.
the game when it came out, obviously. I was there waiting in line, and I guess it would have been Best Buy, and brought it back and played all the challenges, one by one, event mode. Fell in love instantly. It was brilliant. It was even better than 64, which I also played all the time with my friends. It was fantastic.
Let's go,
I've been
wife.
playing it for a couple of years when
Hey,
we
Mike can
found
play
out
Smash.
about tournaments. Like, I hosted tournaments for the game.
Oh, he's the best.
Dark green greater than wife.
I thought
Not in teams.
It was a one-time thing. It was for
Let's
fun.
go,
It was
wife.
silly. And we
No, I love
went
dark
to
green.
Live or Die. It was our first tournament. It was a crap show. Honestly, it was crowded and it was smelly, and I did really, really, really poorly, and it was frustrating. But
Where's wife now?
that-
Still
that
on the
was it.
couch.
It was just like turning on a light. We were trash, just trash compared to these people, and that was very exciting.
Yeah, I won
for
Civil War
us.
4.
Once I realized where I was on the spectrum of this game, how far down I was, that the training started right away.
Welcome to Smash Brothers Training. Today, you will learn the first advanced technique ever discovered.
That's science.
Wave dashing.
Wave dashing. What the hell is a wave dash?
Wave dashing.
Apparently, we stole that term from
This is
FGC,
Samus.
which I didn't know for a long time.
Besides being a robot bounty hunter, she is also an accomplished dancer. By
Get it,
jumping
Samus.
and then quickly dodging
Oh, I
into
think this
the
is from
ground,
the
she
How to
can
Play.
transfer her momentum into a slide.
We love the
speeding
wave
up her
dashing, by the way,
combos and
in case you didn't
increasing
know.
her movement options. Despite this, she still cannot do the robot. That's all for now. See you next time.
Did you ever find out who made the wave dash? Forgot about
Players
that.
learned how to use wave dashing and other advanced techniques to speed up the game to the point where it basically got ridiculous. Most people figure that we put in about 6 or 7 inputs per second, which is roughly about the
They
same as
copied wave dash from
professional
PPMD
StarCraft.
stream.
It kind of broke the boundaries that people expected to see in Smash.
There aren't set combos. There aren't a list that somebody
Bro,
somewhere
he was here
decided
earlier
what
today.
You can do. You can do whatever you want to with your character. You compare it to sports. You compare it to basketball or football, where a person is in control of every movement of their body. And while the video game is just a series of zeros and ones, everybody looks different. I can watch a video of a Marth. I can tell you whether it's Ken or Neo or Azen. You can see the style in a person's character, and that to me is incredible.
I've ran tournaments for MLG.
Or word coming up? Yeah, let me know if there's a word coming up, because I don't remember.
I've ran Tekken, I've ran Halo, I've ran Gears of War, Rainbow Six, Shadowrun, Smash Brothers Melee, Smash Brothers Brawl, so I've ran and been around a lot of high caliber games, and I've seen them all, and I think Melee is one of the deepest and most intricate games.
Yeah, it'd been tough to explain what makes Melee so deep, though, for the movement.
Made by Nintendo that wasn't supposed to be competitive with cartoon characters.
But yeah,
it
Melee's
kind of was like a beautiful accident.
Being able to cut your dash and all the
has
frames
advanced
and
considerably. For the first few
drift
years,
and
there
everything.
were no guidelines.
What a good game.
The first to uncover and master these techniques would instantly become the most dangerous player.
Most dangerous player, Mango. Oh wait, the East Coast.
Did you just call him Chris? Holy shit! Something. No. Oh! It's not cool. Come on, Azen.
We weren't really serious about it. I mean, we had fun with it, but the moment where it changed from like just casual play to competitive was when my brother met Azen at school. The biggest thing about him that I've gotten over now, which I guess is why
I love they run stuff in the background,
is just the fact that he's like freakishly good at video games. Like he just has this knack for being able to figure a game out. And
it's true. Every time I was going to tournaments and we would talk about Azen, people would be like, "Yep, he's amazing at Mario Kart. He's amazing at Maple Story. He's amazing at whatever." Like, this guy's crazy.
Pokemon Puzzle League, top scores in almost every mode.
Yeah.
It was also just different genres. I mean, you got an MMO, you got a fighting game, and then you got a puzzle game. Like, and he's just nailing like all three genres. We would just go to Fest and we'd be playing games for fun, and he's still like whooping our ass in them. Like we're playing Mario Party over here, and he's just fucking like winning all the mini games. It's something, like I said, that I'm used to now, but it's still like when I go back and think about it, it's like fucking incredible to think about. It seems like any game that he puts time into and cares about, he will get sick at.
Yeah, obviously Samox wanted to interview Azen, but he's a silent man.
We were kind of one of the forerunners, actually, because we wanted to show that as a group, we had the most skill compared to any other group of players. Chu had joined our crew.
Crews were a big deal because you didn't travel that much.
And that's pretty much what started like the whole.
You know, you just play with your friends and get good.
Was the fact that we had this other group of
good net play.
And they were, you know, they also had like a name. They were very like established.
This is a jarring cut, but it's funny. I love Samox.
Over tournaments.
At the time when Melee came out, this game called Deadly Alliance came out, and we were just being silly about it. It's like, yo, we should just call ourselves Deadly Alliance. Everyone was the king of their town. Like Mike G, he was the king of Queens. Kamal, he's like the king of Brooklyn. And me and Jason, we was like the kings of Manhattan. And then we also met Kilo R. He was the king of Harlem.
Kilo R.
This guy named Brandon.
On MTV.
He pretty much knew about H2IL. And then he's like, yo, these guys, they're real good and everything. And he was the pretty much person networking between, you know, both crews.
He's just like, yeah, they're all like 20-year-old dudes from like the Bronx. And we're like, wow. Like,
I was like, yo, forget this, man. We're gonna go over there. We're gonna destroy the whole crew.
We're just like these high school kids playing Smash Brothers, and like these are like fucking 20-year-old like inner city people just like bringing out like hardcore trash talk. If I ever told people at school or anything about like, oh, I go to tournaments, and they're like, oh, that's lame. I'm
yeah,
like,
no,
yeah?
I mean,
well, let me show you this motherfucker West that goes to these tournaments. He's a fucking badass.
We was talking smack to each other, you know.
Yeah, no, the scene was different back then. I got to see a little bit of it when I started. People were like hardcore. Not that they're not now, but it was a different scene for sure.
That whole night, Azen was like wrecking them, but they actually beat the rest of our crew for, you know, overall.
It was funny. He was even beating Dave with like Pichu. Because he would do like gimmicks. Like just throwing you off the ledge and just gimping you.
You tell people you went to your tournaments with Wes.
He just do stuff like that to Dave, and Dave was like, oh, Azen's too good, I can't.
I did not talk about it.
Like,
one time my friend told people, and I was like, dude, shut up.
Like,
I'm telling people I go to tournaments.
And the thing that Azen had over us at the time is because he knew about L canceling before us. So he was able to do moves like, you know, L cancel his moves to stop the delay on moves before us.
With his smart play and technical mastery, Azen had emerged as the best player on the East
I think
Coast.
the original wave dashing thread had Azen talking about it, being like, yo, does anyone know about this? Some people were like, dude, I don't think it's that good.
Tournament Go.
Or maybe that was wave dashing.
First tournament.
But either way, it was pretty
really
funny.
The first kind of national tournament
Azen's a cheater.
we ever had in our community. It was Matt Deasy who would just throw
tournaments in his
house.
I don't know.
You know, it'd be some
Old
setups
records.
on the middle floor, some setups on the bottom floor, and everyone would sleep there. Like this guy would just house.
Azen might have found out about L canceling from 64, just playing around. I don't know.
A place to stay. They'd set up tents outside in his backyard, and it was like, I don't know, like Woodstock of gaming or something, where like all these people would show up and he'd be super friendly and open his house to them and house them for a weekend just to throw a Smash tournament.
Dude, the scene was so homey back then. You could just go like hang out with anyone, and it was just cool.
The strongest player, like he had won Tournament Go. It was the first couple of by default he was considered the best player in the nation. I think we kind of had not an arrogant community, but like we definitely knew we were really good at what we did. And
people were pretty
the
arrogant.
first story about Ken is like, you know, this guy like randomly posts that he won a GameStop tournament or some random tournament and he can't be beat in this game.
Vociferous?
And
I heard about him a few years ago, but I don't remember.
Everyone says that. Like, they beat their friends, and they're unbelievable at this game, and they will never lose. And I've seen it at so many tournaments, and these guys just get absolutely, like, crushed, like, torn apart, like, leave it with, like, you know, a tail between the legs. Like, it was the same thing for Ken. Like, some guy that wasn't part of our community was like, I'm really good at this game. There's no way you'll beat me.
I was just a small fish in a pond. I didn't know anything about the ocean yet, so Matt Deasy, you know,
Sephiroth Ken.
He saw that post and he actually contacted my brother on AM afterwards.
Popping off about GameStop wins.
To do a money match. They thought it was going to be easy money, so $25
easy
became
money.
$50, $50 became $100.
Loops.
And then eventually it came to $200 money match off the bat. To tell you the honest truth, I didn't even have the money at the time, and I still money matched them.
Yeah, you got the guy from Survivor?
16 hours, NorCal to SoCal. I played Vociferous first.
Real footage.
He was like
JK.
doing all these advanced techniques, like wave dash, catching items on air. I was like, how did you do that?
Ken had his own tricks
to take me through.
Thanks, Ben.
I ended up beating Vociferous. Matt Deasy and Vociferous' face it was priceless. It was a funny thing because Matt Deasy's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm next. And Matt Deasy would pick Corneria and then run to the one side of the ship and just constantly spam lasers.
You guys
at
don't.
me.
You guys think
and I couldn't
stuff's
hit him.
bad now.
Every single time.
Corneria Fox, man. Corneria Fox, Green's Fox.
I realized like, I had to adapt to that.
Gross.
So, I found out that once I grabbed Matt Deasy, he wasn't able to run. So once I grabbed him, I was able to hit him. I asked him, I'm like, I beat you guys. Aren't you guys the best? I beat you guys. Does it not make me the best now? And Matt Deasy said, no. Just because you beat us in a money match doesn't make you the best. You have to win TG4. I host TG4, you have to win that. That's what makes you the best. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll have to go to TG4 and win that.
That's how it is. You always have to, you win, doesn't matter. You got to keep winning.
You know, I thought it was
That's just the classic tournament stuff.
You know, at an auditorium or something where there's like stages and whatnot. But it was hosted at Matt Deasy's house. Like, I saw all these smashers. He was housing like most of them. So they were like, I saw him sleep on the ground. I was like walking in there. I'm like trying to avoid smashers. They've heard of me. Like, Matt Deasy and Vociferous were telling people about me, like how I was. So they wanted to see it. I tore through the whole entire tournament.
Tore through the tournament. Humble in victory. Let's go, Ken.
After people saw my skill, a lot of people actually dropped out of the tournament. The hype was like almost gone. It was like the last match of the day is me versus Vociferous.
But yeah, Ken's natural skill is actually pretty crazy at the game, to be honest. Ken dash dance. Let's go, Ken.
I ended up
couldn't handle the DK rap.
My parents really never supported me playing video games, especially at a competitive level. They would always tell me like, "There's no way you're gonna be the best at this game. You know, there's always gonna be someone better than you." I'm one of those guys who want to prove people wrong. If you tell me I can't do that, I want to show you that I can do it. So when I came home from TG4 and I showed them a lot of cash, they're like, "Oh, that's beginner's luck."
Imagine having grand finals at only 9 p.m. Yeah, well, that was only when there were like 20-person tournaments.
The undisputed champion of the West. So it seemed that Ken and Azen were set on a collision course, with only a matter of time before they faced one another in the ultimate showdown.
In the Midwest. Whoop, that's probably a bit loud. Yeah, this song is so good. The transitions are good here. Freaking sick. The Isaiah blinks. I always wonder if Isaiah knows where he is. Where are you at? Yeah, art's really good too. Samox is a beast. Okay, we'll look at the next time in a second. But yeah, I always thought it was weird when I first started watching this. I was like, yeah, I mean, like half these people like don't really play anymore, and you're getting like the grown-up versions of them instead of them in the MLG pictures. I always thought it was kind of weird. But I mean, obviously, I was like more excited than anything. But that contrast was always really strange to me. But I guess it'll be weird now because there's been so much time between when he first shot the last doc and the next one. So I guess it doesn't. You can't really escape it. It's gonna look weird no matter what. And John's remastered. Probably right around there. Yeah, the contrast is pretty cool, honestly. It's just strange. Yeah, chat popping off for Mango. First episode already done. Yeah, the first one's is pretty short. Then they start getting longer. This one's a little longer. This whole stream is a Zoomer vibe. Unsure if true, but if that's a compliment, I'll take it. Yeah, dude, the feels in it are honestly really good. I'm just not looking forward to gamer word parts where everyone D-colons and I have to like scramble or whatever. That ain't gonna be fun. But overall, doc really good. Excited. At least Chillin's rewatchings would feature him getting sad every time he has to say, I think PB will be back soon. Good comment, Scooter. Will definitely be a metagame. Obviously, I can't really talk about what is and isn't in there. Background cricket sound is crickets, in fact. Why was the R word used so often back then? Well, partly it was we didn't really understand. I guess I can talk about this some now. We didn't really understand that it was like how it would impact people, and generally we agreed that if someone had an issue with it, like said it to us privately, we'd stop, but otherwise publicly we thought it would be fine. In my own case, because obviously I said it a lot, I didn't understand that there were so many guys that were victims like that as well, because the community was largely guy. I mean, it still is, but I didn't really know that, and so just uninformed. I was uninformed on a lot of stuff, and there were, I will say that I think there were some other forces that also kept it around, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm obviously glad that we don't do it now. Yeah, I mean, we weren't the only one that used it, but really glad we stopped. No, I'm not watching the whole thing in one sitting. I'm going to watch some of the episodes, but yeah. I just wanted to see what people were saying after the first one. Why do all these old school Marth players quit the game, by the way? Do my PC, Ken Azen left the game. Ken was kind of burnt out. I mean, he talks about it. He was kind of burnt out, and I believe he'd paid his way through college with the game, so he was pretty okay with that. Azen, we don't really know, but I feel like it was kind of a combination of like being kind of tired of Melee after a while, and then also Brawl. And then PC, I think, was kind of a similar case where he kind of went to Brawl, didn't like it, didn't really want to go back to Melee. Like, some of them just got older, some of them had their heyday and really enjoyed success and then didn't want to do it anymore. That's my guess, but I mean, I'm sure they would have their own answers. Turn down cricket volume. Actually impossible. Alright, we're starting. People are just talking about crickets now. No Johns, remastered.
I don't want to hear no Johns.
John. What's a John?
It was like 2 a.m. and
Now,
John.
I want to do a thing about Johns eventually, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now.
A lot of people don't know where the term came from. It just started, but I believe it was a guy in Texas. His name was John, and
I think it was actually Arkansas.
Every time he'd lose, he'd have an excuse. He'd have a reason for losing.
My controller wasn't working. The stage, there's a little bit of lag on the TV.
I didn't sleep last night, or I don't know why I'm not
too cold.
I need to warm up.
Yeah,
we have a Swedish term, Inga Jonas. It's pretty much no Johns. He used to like.
Yeah, there was a guy in Europe. His name was Yuna that johned a lot, so they had a no Yunas basically. So it was the same thing. No one can survive the John drinking game. Oh, volume. Yeah, Quashino. Someone do the command. The Music King moves with him. I actually didn't think about that until now. That's pretty good. All right.
I was like really into the word true that for some reason. That's like when the word just first came out, like everybody was saying it. And so I was like walking down the street and like walking home from school, and I'm just like, true that, yeah, true that.
True that. I love how funny he thinks it is.
It became my name.
Smash tag is chaotic.
Sago.
Solid Jake is my tag in the Smash community.
JV3x3.
Look at all these cool tags. I wish I had one.
Some people create the tag when they're younger.
Here it goes.
829.
Morg.
Unknown Force. WIFE wife.
As you get older, you realize you don't want that like name to like stick to you.
Here it goes.
I like it. I enjoy it.
Today's winner is Dr. Pee-Pee. Come on.
It's built a little identity around itself. Identify with it.
If I could go back and change it, I probably would. I would be something cool like Dark Rain. But as it is, I'm wife and I identify with it.
Chat like that, by the way, for the YouTube viewers.
I found myself in Smash, but I found a second self in Smash. Having this gamer tag and this alternate life and this alternate set of friends, this alternate set of goals, allowed me to have an identity that was very different. In regular life, some people call me the most positive person they've met. I'm a very positive person, but in Smash, I'm arrogant. I'm arrogant and I can be condescending and I know what I want.
Yeah, I mean, he's right about this. Having this other community is good to get away. It's also letting you be someone else, but you don't want your persona to overtake you. I think that can be dangerous.
I think that Azen may be.
All things in balance, baby.
I don't know about Azen's real world personality. I can't say that for sure, but I can say that his personality in the Smash world is very cool, and I did get to know that Azen.
He's one of those players who's just completely 100% like all like thinking.
He's actually the only person to ever beat me in tournament in a Samus Ditto.
Whoops.
No one's ever done that, and it was
that aged well.
Probably be able to beat him a little later in my career. They were calling the master of all the characters, and he was good with all of them, all 26. And he would beat a lot of people with their own character, and it was kind of embarrassing because he'd have these people that specialize in characters, and he'd beat them. And his style was just very unique, very like. It was almost dumb how he played the game.
It's one thing to just learn the game in one way, but like he seemed to master it in a different way.
He would do a Marth forward smash like 3 times in a row. It's like you missed the first time, you missed the second time. There's no way he's gonna do it the third time. You do it the third time. You're like, that's so stupid. Why did I just get hit by that?
There are ways to make that work in the modern age, by the way. I've played around with it. Azen knows some stuff.
It was very ugly, but he won, and he won a lot.
Yeah, Azen's reactions weren't that great, honestly, so he had to think in advance a lot. So him being able to do well with stuff like that is pretty cool, honestly.
Azen and H2IL won most of their contests with the other East Coast elites, Deadly Alliance and Team Ben. Meanwhile, the newly minted champion of the West Coast had just met a player who would forever change the face of Smash, and he didn't even play the game.
I actually met Isaiah at TG4. He was a Smash 64 player at the time. He didn't even play Melee at all. He actually money matched me at Smash 64. And I thought I was really good there. I was like, you know what? I don't know I should money match you. You're probably going to lose. Isaiah's like, no, let's just money match. I saw Isaiah, how he's playing
Isaiah
64.
had the 64 pride. Let's go.
I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, you know what, Isaiah? Let's just cancel the money match. He was like, what? How come? I was like, I'm not feeling it. So I told him, like, no money match. I was talking to Isaiah about
Ken tried to hustle. Unbelievable.
Line that I think he has potential to be good because he's really got 64. I was good at 64 and it carried over. You should come down 2 weeks before TG5 and I'll house you. We can practice, become partners, and I think we could be really good. Eventually, we became a really good training partner. It's kind of like sparring.
Good training partner, so valuable.
Go off each other.
Especially back then, because of net play.
Azen and Andon were visiting a friend in California, so they're like, okay, as long as we're over here, let's go to a tournament over here. This was 03, summer of 03.
TG5, when it first happened, everyone was pretty hyped since the best East Coast players at the time.
Did they ever say what TG stood for?
Time, all going to one place, and Matt Easy was hosting it. Who's better?
I feel like that's kind of awkward for a viewer, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Resolve that all.
Azen
yeah, I know what it stands for.
And seemed to be doing well.
I don't know if the viewers
until
though.
He faced Vociferous and lost a Sheik Ditto. Knocked into loser's bracket, Azen again fought a Sheik Ditto. This time against Isaiah. With a 1-2 punch, Azen was knocked out of the top 3 and out of the money. It seemed, even without their top player, the West Coast was indeed the best coast. But something about the tournament didn't sit well with the boys from the East, and they made it known that in their eyes, the victory was a complete and utter farce.
The funny thing about this tournament was items were on, which we were not fans of.
Yeah, there was a constant debate about the West Coast versus East Coast about items and no items and stuff.
I love items. I think they're fun as hell. But it's no place in a tournament.
And they used them like regularly, and they had like a pretty crazy items list too.
Ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Constantly happen. You know, you grab a Pokeball.
We don't even
know what's in there.
Like stadium transforming now.
So
we've come a long way.
Like on our turf with our rules, where we still had Ken and Isaiah represented.
This isn't Mango X Wednesday.
Basically, on our home turf with our rules, you can't beat us.
They wanted, West Coast players to come over there. Obviously, like the only 2 West Coast players they wanted to come over there was me and Isaiah.
We wanted revenge.
I wonder how quickly Isaiah got good. They don't really talk about that. I wonder if it was super fast. That's what it kind of seems like.
So here we are off to the tourney. It's my buddy Ken. Sucks.
I watched the shaky cam footage of this. It's pretty interesting.
I don't know who this is.
Some Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Nice one, Ken.
American Legion. Nobody here.
It's just like the place. There's nothing around. There was just like no food places around. It's just where the tournament was.
Looks cold.
This is my partner practicing.
Good heating.
Who are these people? Oh, it's Joshua. How was the drive?
I was just so excited. Like, look at all these people from all over the country come to play Melee. DA showed up in full force. We even had a couple Canada people.
I think that's
the scene was a lot more international back in the day. We're starting to see it like that again, but there were people. There was like a good Alaskan player. There was a really strong Texas scene, which we're also seeing some again.
It's been very difficult over the years.
Midwest was stronger.
I had to explain to someone that I'm not gay. I'm not in a gay relationship. It's just a thing.
Go back to this.
It was a TV show with Nick and Jessica, and that was part of it. But
that
also
explains
she
it.
wears a white wedding dress, and she looks like a bride, and so it was
convinced.
silly.
Is this chilling? Or no?
I was gonna explain, but that story.
He's got the money in his hand.
When Game Over happened, I was 14, so I mean, I was still very young during this entire thing.
Where'd you guys come from? New York City. New York City? Good to meet you. Trying to meet everyone here. Sorry to shove a camera in your face.
I'm gonna own everyone here today.
You're gonna kick some fucking ass. Who's this?
Samantha.
Samantha?
Yeah.
Are you playing?
Yeah.
Who are you using? Oh my god, it's Mike. I'm Mike from Canada. How you doing?
In the days before YouTube, Mike and the Punch Crew were one of the only video options in town, and they shared a sophisticated commentary on the game itself. Mostly sophisticated.
They haven't heard of you guys.
What?
Back in the day, when there wasn't esports and you could just into the mic.
We're still very young.
All around the room quiet. They talk all this shit on the internet and they in person. It's just like
anyone.
Darn it, Evo took away our
personalities. You have like their online personality, and then when you meet them in person.
There's a lot of talk online, you know that?
My case rolls.
That's how it is. They want to draw you here. That's all.
The first teams tournament came on. The East Coast at the time weren't too big on teams.
Yes,
they didn't
Dex.
really care. It's all about singles. So Isaiah and I just like stomped through that whole entire bracket.
Yeah, it was Samox doing the narration. That's why I love it. Man did everything. Record, edit, narrate. He played.
I'm pretty sure no one took a game off them.
Yeah. I think like we talk about like dominant teams now, but I think it was just so different for them like back then. They just destroyed people.
Winners finals.
They lost so rarely.
And that was just brutal. Like Azen and Anden got decimated by Ken.
Thanks, Raf.
And it was never really close. Teams did have the $300 pop bonus, which is mainly why Ken and Isaiah came, I think, knowing that they had teams pretty much in the bag.
After Anden,
doesn't even cover your flight.
So yeah, you got what you wanted. Now it's time for singles and whatnot.
It took the longest time to actually get singles started because I had to write the whole bracket out by hand.
No, I never played Isaiah.
was all doing well. That encouraged me, just knowing that, my crew is legit. I was just focused on running the tournament for a while until I saw that I had to fight Ken.
The match was crazy because I can remember, like, at first we were playing on a little screen.
Take one line ball. Chambers chilling.
I'm not sure the screen was the problem there.
I remember playing
Looked like an earthquake.
Marth in friendlies a lot that week in preparation, and I would get up throw uppers a lot, but I never got them as much as during that first match against Ken.
Imagine having the most iconic Fox combo named
and
after you.
I should probably be using this like at all times.
The chillin' is simply this: you throw somebody upwards and then hit them with an up air. You mean repeat it so you can get that, or?
Jatanic was getting really hyped for me, and that just started to draw a crowd. I can think of very
They explained it a little bit later, Cybermon. I'll talk about it then.
I really like the fact that the crowd was in my ear,
Chillin really invented that. Maybe other people did it first, but Chillin was the first one to spam it like he did to get a lot off of it. Or at least like at a high level in tournament.
I did a really good combo on him. I threw him up and I smashed him across the screen.
Oh shit.
That's a really good combo for 2004.
Smash him out. He came back.
Down smash? Turn around down smash?
Oh.
Standing lasers were like old school meta a little bit.
Send him off. I see him coming back, and this is a situation I'd seen so many times with Azen, so I knew what was going to happen, and I just wave dash back, let him put out a forward air, and up smashed him.
Up smash.
Yo, they had specific counterplay for stuff back then. Let's go, baby. That's all you need.
I never felt
60-40?
like ever, probably. That might have been like the highlight of my life to that point.
I was never used to losing.
No, Chillin main Fox. He was probably one of the first top Fox mains.
I lost to Chillin, dude.
When someone told me, like, not too long after that, like, yo, that was Ken's first loss in the bracket, and I'm like, oh my god.
It was so close, like, I could have...
Up air beating Chillin, or beating Ken.
A little more sleep or something the night before, a little bit of food or something, I could have definitely beaten him. But it was... I lost, and the worst part was that I lost to Chillin, dude.
It turned me from, like...
Yeah, dude, Chillin talked a bunch of crap, so that's not what you want.
An actual pro player, in my opinion. After I beat Ken, at that point in winners...
Chat's all laughing at Ken's Johns.
Isaiah was
It'd be like that.
We all thought Ken was just, the overhyped, not very good, like decent, but overhyped. And Isaiah was like
14-year-old destroys number one melee player,
based on
0.
watching his matches and playing and stuff.
The San Jose native
like Ken was probably about the same age.
Attention. He used the wildest.
Yeah, he was also TOing. For Chillin to win while TOing is pretty impressive.
Like everyone else who tried, Isaiah made him look good.
Isaiah's Falcon was sick. I'll say that. He was also so far ahead of his time on stuff. He was edge dashing in like 2005 or 4, whatever. He was crazy.
In winners finals, Azen was waiting for him.
Azen versus Isaiah was like one of the first insanely high level melee matches where you can watch it and just see the level of like mind games going on.
Knee roll, yeet. But you see he's trying to edge dash there. Nice tech. Dude, holy cow, these guys' forward smashes are insane. Okay, we got those. Oh, I forgot that Isaiah played Marth here. Yeah, he did have some Marth. Everyone played Marth back then, though. Everyone hated Marth.
At that point, Azen had beat Isaiah, I'd beat Ken. You know, we thought, you know, we had pretty much taken it, but
and then they turned the items on.
Was that we were focused on Isaiah? Like, Isaiah's a problem here. Let's talk about how to beat Isaiah. But Ken ended up coming back through losers and, you know, just going on a rampage.
I was determined. I had the eye of the tiger.
You know, he beat Dave.
Yeah, Isaiah had a neat fox too.
And
because everyone you had to play fox for all the weird stages, like green greens or whatever. You couldn't play who you wanted. You had to play fox for those other levels.
I felt more comfortable, and then I fought Challenged again.
I wasn't nearly as focused, which had slightly to do with the time and how late it was, and I'd been running the tournament all day.
I beat the shit out of them, and I took them out.
Even at that point, I still
and they love each other. You can tell.
You know, anything crazy. We'll see what happens.
They're best friends now that they're in the dock together.
It's 2 sets, you know.
Five stocks. Yeah, there was a 5-stock versus 4-stock thing for a little while too, as you can see here. Is that Green Marth? What is this, my Netplay stream? Yo, I love Ken's not jump cancel grabs. I want to say more about that, but if you know, you know. Dude, these guys switched a lot. I forgot about all this. Okay, up throw up smash. 2004. Let's go.
Ken just never let up. And I mean, Azen's not the type to do that either, but Azen didn't have as much of a game plan going in. Like if he had played Ken in more friendlies or just expected Ken to come out, he might have had a better game plan ready and things might have gone different. But Ken did end up coming all the way back and taking it.
And Azen was, man, Azen was sad. Like I saw his face, he was sad. Like I would be sad too, but I mean he was representing us most of the time. I mean I pulled the impossible again and I managed to come out on top.
Kim was like, "You suck, nerd, taking this money going home."
You could tell at times like he was upset about his play or something like that, but he did a very good job of hiding it.
Yeah, Azen like never talks, dude. I met Azen at a Virginia tournament once and I talked to him like, we spoke like 2 sentences to each other because that's all he wanted to say.
No word could better describe Azen than unassuming.
But it was lit.
He is loath to accept his greatness. For all the games that he's good at besides just Melee, where he holds these world records in a game that he just picked up just because he's Azen. Not only is he just mellow and kind of goes with the flow, you know, because he doesn't really want to put up a fight, I think he really wants to do everything you say. You know, it's like, hey Azen, do you want to play Smash for 12 hours in a row and not eat? I do. But it's not just about the game. Hey, Azen, let's take a road trip to Michigan. Azen, let's put on show tunes. We're going to sing Little Mermaid. And we did sing Little Mermaid. And all those 14-hour trips to the Midwest. He's great company and a great guy.
Dang, man, we going to lose the Japs. Man, we scared of the Japs.
I wonder what... I guess this just shows the low budgetness of everything, but it's just so strange when you're looking at like the high production value to just show the old Godzilla thing.
The players in
I know, Chad, I know.
Emerging scenes like America.
Try not to talk about it.
Actually verse much at all or integrate in any way, so we didn't have a clear indication of which country was better. But from watching the videos, the Japanese are far more impressive in their technical aspects and their creativity.
Do not forget to skip. Look, man, I don't remember when all the words happened. You have to tell me. I don't know.
Japan players are probably at the forefront of the game at the time.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. But yeah, Japan was like, apparently, I've talked to different people about it, and Japan was like generally considered stronger than us back then. Like they had
remained.
Like they had a bunch of people that were like just like Ken's level back then. Apparently,
was already settled. But with TG6 around the corner, Matt Deasy saw an opportunity. He invited a few of the top Japanese players to compete.
They
in
went
the
to
States,
Brawl and they were
including
like
the formidable
on the top
Captain
American
Jack.
player level or
Azen
stronger.
Chu went to that.
Same in 4 kind
That
of.
was a
Same in
great
this new game.
To be honest, when we were having those back and forths, who's the second best in H2IL, it was most often Chu, more so than any of the rest of us.
In addition to being the
Chu-dats.
first international tournament, TG6 would finally put an end to an annoying West Coast practice.
I remember a match that I saw at TG5
Thanks, Yamalo.
where it was Eddie the Gandor Slayer.
Matt Deasy, he lost several matches because of items. One of them was to me. It was a Sizor. I remember this too. I hit one Pokeball and it was like a Firebird and he was caught in it. And then I hit him with another Pokeball, knock him back into Firebird. And then the Sizor came out and took him off and he was just like...
And after that, Matt Deasy said, F this, no more items. So he took out items for TG6.
Tio's ruling the scene with an iron fist.
I was playing friendlies against
I
him
love
the day before the tournament,
really.
just to see
But sometimes
the,
it's like
the
that.
difference of the skill level between Japanese and the Americans.
Captain Jack's Bowser beat Ken Smart. I was like, what?
Oh, wait,
Who is
I know
this
it's
guy?
coming up. I know
This
it's
guy's
coming up.
Japanese. He's like really, really good.
I just couldn't kill him. I just didn't understand why I couldn't kill him. Like every single time
If I'm wrong, I'm
smash him
wrong.
at like 100%, he'd live. And that was actually the first time I actually learned about DI.
DI,
Oh, yeah,
or
that's right. We gotta do
directional
this.
influence, is the ability of the player to influence their trajectory if hit by an opponent. If mastered, this simple skill can keep you alive, where
Baka.
other players would easily perish.
The ability that there is directional influence, DI, it doesn't even become a contest for the players that know what they're doing.
It's just the back of my head, like, DI, DI, DI. And that totally threw off my game.
I guess you're thinking about
I
that.
played faster for like third round.
Here it comes.
I was letting him hit me and I was trying to DI, and then I ended up ultimately.
I'm gonna dodge it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, people were surprised by that, and I still remember Azen saying like,
And we're gonna. All right, dodged. Stream is saved. Everyone, open your ears. Children can watch again.
Losers. It was a bad ride home too. Like, that was the first time I didn't win singles. I know.
Even though we ideally would like to see Azen fight Ken again, because that's just always an epic match, this really opens the door for Azen to take it.
And I don't remember the rest of them, but you guys are gonna have to let me know.
I fought Isaiah with my Ice Commerce, and I beat him. I beat him really, really, like, I don't want to say badly, but like I two-stalked him.
Chu beat Isaiah not only in winners but again in losers. 2-0 both times, just showing
Episode
like
8.
dominance.
I'm not getting episode 8 today.
No one had ever done.
Everybody was like, "Oh man, who is this? Look at this Ice Commerce player."
Other than Azen and Ken, there wasn't anyone who could really touch Isaiah, or so we thought. And then all of a sudden, Chu comes in with this considered low tier at the time character, Ice Climbers. Like,
Yeah,
he single-handedly.
they did think he was low tier.
Ice Climbers 10 spots.
I don't know anyone that
I fight Captain Jack.
thought that played ICs back then. It was just Chu.
I lose to Captain Jack.
It set up Azen versus
I
Captain
mean, aside from like Azen and people
I'm
like
on the
that.
phone with Chu while the finals is happening. I remember getting so pissed off that literally everyone in the venue, it seemed like, was cheering for Captain Jack.
Wobbling was known sometime around then, but I don't remember exactly. Wow, Doc's broken. You can combo with him? Dumb.
I'm like, come on, guys. I know Azen's East Coast, but can you support your country?
I actually went back and watched these two after the doc, or before I think as well. It's actually a pretty interesting set. A lot of counter picks there and a lot of decent back and forth. But this man got spot dodged on his forward smash too many times.
Once Azen won, like, I mean, that was it. I remember putting my SIG, like, congrats to Azen, best player in the world, or something like that. Like, I was just like, okay, this is it. Azen's the best in the world. He just proved it.
We were talking about, how good Azen is. Best in the world now, not because, he beat everybody, but because he also beat a Japanese player. But, I mean, he still won. He still won, so congrats to Azen for that tournament.
Agree, Ken. Congrats to Azen. But yeah, forum signatures were lit. That stuff mattered a lot. People will be talking about them, lurking them. Why did my SIG show up? Half the comments on forums.
he doesn't get too excited, but you know, he was definitely really
Azen
happy
popped
about
off.
it. He hasn't-
Yeah! Imagine if Azen did that one day.
That off, so he was pretty excited about that.
Azen's like, I've been studying my Hungry Box videos. It's time. Take care, Humboom. All right, so we're gonna. So how you guys liking it? Should I stop it more and talk? How are you guys feeling about it so far? Don't skip preview. Dude, we're gonna watch the thing in a second. It's great. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Hard to hear the videos. I think most people say it's fine. Alright, I think people are fine. You guys just want to see the doc. You don't care. You're fine. Everything's fine. Don't skip preview? Alright, fine. I won't skip the
The
preview.
aggressiveness and the speed and the combos and everything that goes with that character, it's scary.
That was as Isaiah, as anything Isaiah's ever done.
He's a weird guy.
People loved him for that because, you know, it was different, it was unique.
There was emoji girls going around, you know, giving hugs and whatnot.
He had this kind of aura.
Look at the smug Isaiah, dude. He knows what he's about.
He felt like it.
Alright, don't get hit. Dude, people talked about don't get hit a lot. They were like analyzing it. Like we'd write like 2,000 word post on like don't get hit. What does it mean? Like obviously you shouldn't take damage, but what does it mean as a philosophy? And you know, like all this stuff. That was like funny. No one talks about don't get hit now, but it's still important. We need something like Smashboards. Well, don't get hit. Now just get hit by the lasers and needles. All right, well, he didn't get hit by attacks. Metagame.